What a difference a day makes. Here we are in the gorgeous sunshine.
Oh, surrounded by ducks. A squirrel just came up and tried to mug us. It was great.
Wonderful. It is Cultaholic on AEW All In Sunday. And it's a big day. Thank you, by the way, if you came along and supported some of the amazing indie shows across the capital yesterday. Rev Pro put on an absolute banger for their anniversary show.
We had all caps all day.
All caps all day with North, Attack and Hustle. And we had the Grado show live. Dave Meltzer turned up.
He did.
Dave Meltzer turned up. It was a treat. And if you weren't there, tough. It wasn't filmed. You'll never see it. But thank you so much for coming out and supporting us across the weekend. Let's dive into the news, and we'll start with a story from WWE and potentially news of what could have been when it comes to a WWE PLE.
Well, Ronda Rousey was talking to Ring the Bell and said that WWE had pitched a premium live event for her to headline, but because a proposed match didn't come together, the show was scrapped. She said they offered to bring Evolution back for a second time, and they said, Ronda, if you stay after WrestleMania, we'll have another Evolution in 6 weeks and have you and Becky as a singles. I was like, I promised my family that first I was always saying I wanted to go from WrestleMania until Survivor Series, and then Triple H convinced me to stay from WrestleMania to WrestleMania, and I promised my family, okay, that's it.
I have kids and a husband and a home, and I'm gone for weeks on end. So when they said that, I was like, nah, I already have asked too much of my family. Promised you I would stay this long, and I promised them I would only stay this long, and I'm not going to keep moving the goalposts. And then I ended up shattering my knuckle anyway, so wouldn't have been able to do it regardless. But yeah, they tried to dangle the carrot in front of me, but I just couldn't. Hopefully they'll bring it back, and I don't think they need me for it. I think they are past that point, and they just need to believe in the women because they can do it. So there's always been conversations about Evolution 2, which was the all-women's pay-per-view that WWE ran. I think Triple H kind of balked at the idea a little bit in a presser, kind of saying, like, we'll do the shows when we need to do the shows.
But it was quite surprising because it was a massively popular premium live event, and I think that ultimately it's something that a lot of fans have been calling for a long time. Maybe as we see WWE now looking more toward fan sentiment, we may see it make its return soon. But I think Ronda's right in the way where she says she wasn't really needed for it. I think you've got such depth on the women's roster now, and post women's Revolution and post the first Evolution, I think think about what you could do with cross promotion. Right?
We're seeing it with TNA, aren't we? We're seeing them going back and forth, and we're seeing Jordan Grace get a strong presence on NXT. I can see we saw Jordan Grace get in there at the Rumble back in January with the main roster. There's so much potential. We are living in this wonderful time where wrestlers come and go to and from every and any promotion, but I don't believe there's any stranger appearance in the last month or so, at least, than the one that we had last night at GCW.
So at GCW Homecoming, Mance Warner became the undisputed GCW champion. Hey. Spoilers, defeating Joey Janela and Blake Christian in a ladder match. That was loud, bird. All right.
He was a fan of Blake Christian.
The finish saw Effie attempt to stop his former best friend Manders from winning the title, but he had an insurance plan, didn't he?
In the form of WWE Hall of Famer John Bradshaw Layfield, who made his GCW debut because, yes, we are in some sort of weird, cursed timeline now. He came out looking like, as all Hall of Famers do that turn up at GCW, looking a bit like The Undertaker, cowboy hat and a duster, and he just took Effie's head off with 2 clothesline from Hells, and consequently helped Mance Warner become the undisputed champion. Effie versus JBL is something I was not expecting in this particular timeline.
It feels very multiversal. I just can't imagine JBL at any show that isn't a WWE show. It's really bizarre.
He rocked and shocked us when he turned up at CMLL the other week in the corner of Nick Nemeth because of reasons, and they did the national anthem together. They didn't sing it, they just sort of put their hands on their chest and had a good time with it, but it was quite a bizarre moment seeing JBL. Like, I woke up this morning a bit bleary-eyed going, look, I know last night was a little bit wild, and I know that I've only had about 3 hours sleep, but is that JBL at a GCW show? Oh, it is. What a day it is.
It's John O'Clock, I guess.
I guess it is John O'Clock.
But like a positive one. It's a sunny day, and we've got a positive John O'Clock.
And we are hours away from going into Wembley Stadium for AEW All In, the show that will be headlined by Bryan Danielson, putting his career up against Swerve Strickland for the world title. And Bryan Danielson, we've got an update on him courtesy of our friends at Fightful Select.
Yeah, so Fightful Select saying, we haven't been told that Danielson has been saying his goodbyes, but he's also expected to remain around All Elite Wrestling following the conclusion of his run as an in-ring wrestler. He's been very transparent in saying that he wants to continue contributing to AEW after his neck is taken care of, and he said that he could only see himself back in WWE in the event that the wrestling industry needs him to be there. WWE sources have claimed that they've not reached out to them, but claim he's wildly loved within their company as well and respected for his contributions to wrestling. Of course.
Of course he is. I think if he does call time on this iconic career today at Wembley, I think that's one heck of a place to do it.
Yeah.
I think that's a really exciting place to do it.
50-odd thousand fans when all's said and done. I imagine there's going to be a few more tickets distributed. There's maybe going to be some walk-up. But I think, if you do ultimately have that moment where he's going to walk away, say goodbye, it's going to be a massive moment. But it would feel like there's still some unanswered, sort of like it feels like there's still some unfinished business, I guess.
There's unfinished business in the Swerve house, as we are discovering today. He was on Barstool Sports. He discussed his reign as AEW World Champion and reveals that there is a little bit of current contract conversations occurring between the sides.
He said, I've always said me winning the AEW World Championship was phase 2. That was the beginning of phase 2 of my career. Right now, I'm in the midst of a renegotiation stage because I'm really enjoying my status here in AEW. I'm enjoying everything about the locker room, the roster, the talent, the promotion. I love the fact that I'm a really big part of building the company to different revenue, different avenues and things like that as far as AEW is concerned. So that's going to be the beginning of phase 3 of my career. And this is truly just the beginning of what's about to happen for me. Not just the wrestling side, but everything all together as a performer.
It's a really exciting time for Swerve Strickland. I know a lot of people said that, and I agree as well, that we didn't really see what Swerve was capable of. Whoa, pigeon invasion. We didn't see what he was truly capable of as part of NXT, and it was only when he went to AEW that we started to see him really shine, particularly in those matches he's had with Hangman Page.
Yeah.
And now, no doubt, tonight at Wembley as well. And talking of big changes to the card, how about this for a little stipulation they're going to chuck in? Now, this was clarified by Tony Schiavone. This might have been the case the whole time. Certainly wasn't made clear until last night on Collision. When it comes to the Casino Gauntlet, the winner of that match not only gets a world title match, but it's a title match that they can, and I quote, cash in at any time.
Which, I mean, we've got a very... there's a lot on the line in the main event. But it does feel like naturally somebody could win that and immediately, roll straight into that main event and make it a triple threat.
Or could Hangman Page just be the absolute bar steward and wait for the dust to settle on Swerve, maybe beating Bryan Danielson tonight?
Yeah,
the heist of the century, to quote new GCW star JBL.
It's the thing, we've got 10 matches on the card, and that felt like maybe we'll get 1 or 2 more. But at the same time, it was like, it just felt like usually there'd be like a few more matches. So maybe that is, a bit of excess time. We could see something going on afterwards.
We will see. We're going to find out. All In is today at Wembley Stadium. You can join Adam and Andrew for live reactions back at base, and we'll have what happened at as well. And no doubt we'll be having a few conversations with people up and down Wembley Way. Yeah. If you see us, do say hi. We don't bite hard. And for the latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.